Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. And this is my first video since my daughter has been here. She has already left and is on her way back to back home. And stuff. So yeah. So I thought I would go ahead and do a video showing you guys how I make my paper beads. I was pretty sure that I had done a video, but I looked back through my videos and I couldn't find one. So I go, know what? I'll just go ahead and record one and show you guys how I do it. And because I've had some people ask how I made them and stuff. So I thought I would do a video showing how I made them. So I've got some paper here that I had already had cut to the size and everything that I normally uh, use to make my beads. And then I had these scraps of paper. So I thought I might incorporate them in with into my beads to add some extra interest and color to my beads. And when I make my beads, after I make the bead, I have this, and I have these skewers that I put the beads on because I use glue when I first roll the beads. So I put them on these so that the glue can dry. And then once the glue is dry, then I take the beads off of here, and then I will normally I would use a clear top coat nail polish on them, but I don't have any. So what I'm using is a Mod Podge that I will be putting on them, and then I will put them back on the skewers to let the Mod Podge dry. And then once I do that, then I have eyelets that I put on the ends, and then they're done. Then they will come out looking something like that. So we shall begin. And this is the tool that I use to roll the paper to make the beads. And it has this slot right there, and that's where you put the paper to hold it while you roll it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with this paper and then add this and then see how it looks. And I thought this color would look good with this because it will bring out some of the colors in this paper. So what you do is just put the paper in there, and usually I'll put the paper in from the top, and then roll it. And then when it comes around and the paper is fully around, then I'll take my glue and put some glue on here. And then continue to roll. And then put some more glue. And you kind of want to hold it kind of tight and try to roll it as straight as possible. But it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. And then when you get to the end of that paper, I usually add a little bit more. And then use some of the excess to kind of seal it. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of glue right there where that is there. And then I'm going to take my next piece of paper, and what I'm going to do is just overlap it a little bit. Make sure it's glued down. And now I'm going to add some glue onto this one. And continue rolling it. And then, like I said, get to the end. And there you go. Now you have a bead. And then what you want to do is carefully pull it off of here. So there's your bead. And then what I do is then I take it and I'll just slide it on there. And then I proceed to make the next one. So let's do this blue one. And so we put the paper in that slot. Actually, I'll roll it towards me. Now this glue is just to help hold the paper in place. And then And when you get to the end there, I'll add a little bit more. And it's all right if some oozes out, because then you can use that to help kind of seal that edge. Okay, so now you take your glue and you put some on top of right there where the one ended. And then you just take your next piece and then just overlap it. And then bring it underneath. And then start adding your glue. And I find that it's a lot easier and helpful, and kind of helps speed up the process if you go ahead and put your glue all the way down your paper, because then that way you can focus on the rolling and getting your paper placed exactly where you want it. Without having to stop every little bit to put some glue on there. And then when you get to the end, you'll want to add a little bit more. And then smooth it out. And there we go. Now we have another one. So I'm going to go ahead and slide that one off. And then add it onto the other skewer that we just had the first one on. So let me see if I find, excuse me, guys. Find one here that's a little skinnier. Excuse me. There we go. Okay. Because when I add the Mod Podge, that'll seal it, seal the edges and all of that stuff. So, okay, here at the end of this one. Okay. And now we'll, okay, and if you notice that this one is a lot narrower than the original piece, that's fine. That's what's going to make this one look really, really different and unique. See if I have one that's not as narrow, but Okay, we'll use this one here because this one is a little bit wider, but not too wide. That way you get some of this color really showing up. Okay, so we need to add some glue in here. And then we'll go ahead and attach a piece there. And then our glue. Okay. And there we go. And see, now you can see some more of that other paper underneath. Aren't the birds? They startled me for a second. But there, now you can see a little bit more of that lighter blue paper of the first layer. Okay, so now we can pull that one off and put that one on our skewer to let the glue dry while we do our next one. So let's see. Let's find one and do one with the brown. We have ones that'll be. Let's see if we can find one that's narrow. That one might work. Let's see if I can find one that's a little bit more narrow. Okay, there we go. Okay. Okay, there's my slide. Yeah. Oops. Okay. Put down our glue. And you could, if you wanted to, you could use the Mod Podge for this part as well. Okay. So now let's add some more glue here. Make sure our end is on there. Take this and touch it. Now put the glue on it. Okay. And I'll start laying it. And there you go. And there's that one. Okay. Okay. And I'd like to use a green, but I don't. Oh, wait a minute. Here goes. I have that one. That one has a little bit of green, but I want what you want to look for is the color down at the bottom of the piece that you're going to use, because that's going to be what's going to be on top. Excuse me, guys. And the size of this, I'm using a 3/18 inch um, paper roller, because that's going to be the diameter of your center of your paper beads, and I'm doing that because that is the size of my grommets. And so you want your hole big enough that your grommets will fit into, but not too big that they'll they'll be moving around a lot. So let's see how that would how's that for those. Okay, let's try this. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll do this one more, and then the first ones I've done, the glue part should be done, and then I'll show you how I do the Mod Podge. And then what I do with the beads, I turn the beads into stitch markers. They can also be used to be made into charms. You can also use these and use them as dangles on for anything really. You can even add them anything as decoration on your crochet projects. Um, so yeah, so these can be used for many of things. Sorry, guys. It never fails when I start talking a lot. I start coughing. Sorry for the reach. Need to get me one of my wipes so I can kind of clean off my fingers a little bit. I'm starting to get a pile up of glue on them. Okay. Okay. So now I can add a little bit of glue on here so I can attach my second piece. And your beads can be as wide as you want them or as narrow um as you want them. Um you can add as many layers of paper onto them. Um you can start out with a real wide piece of paper and then each layer get um narrower as you go. Um or you can do a wide piece of paper and then do like what I've got here, have it into like into um like a triangle. And oh yeah, I like the way that one came out. Mm, take that one off and I'm gonna put it on one of the other skewers so that one can dry. And then I'm gonna move these papers over to the side here so I don't get them messed up. And in this mason jar here, I have some Mod Podge that I had put in this jar. And I'm going to get paintbrush. I don't need a real wide one. Ooh. Okay. Okay, what happened with my Mod Podge? Okay. I don't know what happened with my Mod Podge. Well, so not sure what happened there, but I do have more. I'll reach down here and get it. This is the actual, don't want to tip it too much. This is the actual container. Here, let me put the lid on and tilt my camera up just a smidge. But this is the Mod Podge that I'm using. I usually put some in the mason jar and some water. I'm not sure what happened there. And I had it sealed, but I don't know. But I usually have everything. I have it in that jar and have some water in it so it's not so thick. Okay, and then I have this skewer here, and what I do is I put the bead on it like this, and then that way I can be able to oops, sorry. This way I can be able to rotate the bead, and that way I could get all sorry, all the surfaces of the bead. Actually, it's dried now too. That way I can coat it completely without getting the Mod Podge all over my hands. And then what I'll do is then I'll slide it on one of the skewers so that way it can dry. Um, Depending on what I think it looks like once the Mod Podge dries, I might put another coat on. But since this is not diluted, I'm not sure how this is going to look. So we're going to experiment. So I just barely put some on, just enough to kind of fill in the edges, and that kind of seals everything. Um, so, and I'm not sure how long this way, using it like this undiluted. I'm not sure how long it will take to dry because usually when I did it with it diluted in some water, it didn't take very long to dry. And then I'm not sure if you can see. If you could see that, see how there's a little bit of a gap when I was rolling the paper. I also put some down in there because that way that kind of seals that. And I try to make it an even coat. That's, I don't know if you can see that or not, but see how there's some gap there when I was rolling it. But that's where and then try to make sure that I get some in there just to kind of seal it. Okay. And then I just take it and then slide it onto the skewer, and then pick up and do the same thing with the next bead. Now the Mod Podge comes in, excuse me, the matte finish, but they also have a glossy finish. So I'm not sure if the glossy finish matte Mod Podge, sorry guys, would give it the same look as if I had used the clear nail polish. I'm gonna pause you guys for a second and get me some water. Okay. Get me some water and a cup. See if that helps. So that's so that one looks like it's completely covered. Now I'm gonna bring you guys tilt you back this way and bring you guys down a little bit. Hopefully you guys should be focused. There we go. Okay. Okay. Oops. Okay. Now I'm gonna put this one over here on the skewer so it can dry. Okay. So now we'll do the next one. So I hope everybody is doing well. I had a lot of fun this past week while my daughter was here visiting, my daughter and grandson. Um so and she was also a co-host on my um live, um my last live. So so please go check that out. And I put a link. She also is on YouTube. So I put a link to her channel in the description box of that live. So so yeah, so go check her out. Okay. And if you leave a comment on any of her videos, just let her know and stuff that um you found out about her channel from me. Um so that way she knows how you found out about her channel. And let's help support her. And so yeah, I hope everybody is doing well. I have finally I have started another crochet project. Yeah. And I will be doing a video showing that. I'll just on that one, I'll just be able to show you a picture of um of what it is that I am making. And and that's about it because it is a paid pattern, and actually it's a kit. And this kit, I won. I had won this kit, and so I'm working through it. It's the first time I've I've done anything like this. Um, so I'm kind of taking it everything one row at a time, one stitch at a time, just trying to kind of figure out um the um the instructions, the pattern, and just trying to just seeing how it comes out. I have another crochet project that I want to work on as well. That one I might work on off camera and not show anybody until the object is finished, because I'm kind of going away from um the pattern, not necessarily the pattern itself, but as far as the yarn, I'm using oh, different type of yarn. So I just want to see how it's going to come out before I actually show it, and then I'll show it and talk about my experience with making it. Okay, so let me put this back on and move this out of the way. And I have a coffee cup over here to my side that has some soapy water that I dip my brushes into, and I let them sit. Any brushes or anything that has glue or anything like that on it. But right here are the beads that I've made. And they're still pretty wet. And once they're dry, depending on how they look, once they're dry, um on whether or not I put another coat on. And then once I'm satisfied with how they look, then what I do is I take some of my glue and put a little bit around on the inside of the bead, and then I put in the grommet on either end, and then let the glue dry, and then they're done. Then they're ready to be used in however I decide to use them. Um, so so yeah. So that is how I make um my paper beads. Just like that. It's real simple. Um if I can find where I got these from, I'll put a link to that down below as well. Um I learned how to make the paper beads from Angie of My Fairy Treasures, and I will also link her channel down below as well. And so you guys can go check her out. Um, she's an amazing artist. Um, and she makes all kinds of different beads, and she does a lot of mixed media art, plus she knits. She's been learning how to crochet, and she makes all different kinds of things craft related. So yeah, so I will also link her um channel below, and yeah, so thank you for stopping by, and we will see you in the next video. And like I mentioned, if I do live stream, and that is on Thursday nights at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, and hope to see you there. And if you're not already part of my family, consider hitting the subscribe button below and clicking that notification, the bell, so that way you get notified of when I do upload videos and when I go live. So thank you everybody for joining me today, and hope everybody has a good and blessed day, and we'll see you around. Love everyone. Take care. God bless. Stay safe. Love one another. But most importantly, love yourself. Bye, everyone.